Ann McNeil, and this is our National Association of Black Women in Construction Investment Club Education Day. Today is the 14th of October, 2026. And so for those of you that are joining, like I shared, we're going to have a silent moment. So if we can all bow our heads or just meditate for a moment. Take a deep breath, inhale, slowly exhale. Oh, Heavenly Father, we just thank you for that breath of life. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we ask and pray for another breath. Amen. All right. We are an investment club as a part of an education committee within the National Association of Black Women in Construction. And as a result of that, we've been together now for 7 years. We invest about $25 a month inside of this club. We're part of the National Association of Investment Clubs, which has now been renamed as Better Investing. And as a result of that, we use their best practices, their principles, their software. I'm also, and many of us are volunteers with the organization. I've been a volunteer now for over 25 years. And as a result of being a volunteer with the organization and the founder of the National Association of Black Women in Construction, we formed this club inside of Nabwic to help us not just earn in our businesses, in our lives, but to learn how to make the money grow. And the desire is to leave a legacy for our families and for our charitable contributions and organizations. So with that, I'm going to go around and do a quick introduction. So we'll start with our secretary, Mr. Rita Dennis, because she's on my screen. And then we're going to also, if any of you are here and you'd like to introduce yourself, we just ask you to please come on camera to do that. So Dorita, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Good morning. I am co-owner of a home for living where we provide health and wellness for seniors, and I am the secretary of the Nabwic Investment Club. Good morning.
Carolyn, we'll ask if you can come on.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carolyn Manes, and I'm the treasurer of the investment club.
And thank you. We want you to be safe while you drive, so you can keep your camera off. Okay. Our president, Ms. Sharon Jackson, you want to come on?
Sharon Jackson, she's already said that I'm president of the group. I am a management analyst for the Veterans Administration.
All right, thank you. All right, and that is it for the members. And now for our guests, if any of you would like to come on camera and introduce yourself, please. Nicole, your camera's already on. Does that mean you want to introduce yourself?
All right, I will introduce myself. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicole Clayton Morgan. This is my first investment club education session. So I was curious. I saw it. I said, well, let me see what this is all about, what the classes are all about. I'm interested in investing and learning how to do it and learning how to be a better steward over my finances. So I said, what better way to do it than to learn in a class? So I'm here.
And you're also a new member of Nabwic too.
Yes, I am.
Very
Yes.
important. Thank you so much for joining us. Anybody else like to introduce yourself? Zelda?
Yes, sure. Thank you. Yes, my name is Zelda Okia, and I live in the Milwaukee area, and I've been attending now for some time. I'm interested in joining too. I'm currently president of our local better investing, one of our better investing clubs up here in Milwaukee. So just looking to continue to see what other people are doing in their clubs.
All right, thank you, Zelda. And who else that has a camera on would like to introduce yourself before we
Good
start?
morning, Patrice is here.
Thank you. Hi, Patrice.
Good morning, Miss Ann. Good morning, family. So this is my first meeting. Excuse the background. I'm at the gym this morning working out, but I figured since I was up early at the gym, also needed to prioritize this. And this is my first meeting that I'm attending. And so I'm just curious to learn and dig in to see where I fit in. So
Awesome. Thank you
thank
so
you for
much.
having me.
Thank you. And you're also a member of,
Yes, I am also a member of Nabwic, and I am based here in the Houston area, Houston, Texas.
all right. Thank you so very much. All right. Anybody else before we go ahead and start with our education session?
Morning. Hi, this is Veronica. Good morning, Miss Ann and everyone. I don't know, is my camera on? Because I
Yes.
can't see it on my, it is?
And
Okay.
and
I
your
don't know what
hand
you see
too.
because my name's
Beautiful.
not even coming up. So, well, good morning to everyone. I'm just here to visit. I was on a couple of calls last year and with Nabwic and um, I spoke with you as well, Ann. But anyway, good morning. Just wanted to curious to find out about the investing piece and just kind of wanting to connect. That's all. Good morning
Thank
to
you.
everyone.
All
Blessings.
right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for joining us. Miss King, your camera's on and you look beautiful. You want to introduce yourself?
Good morning. I'm Shauna King. Greetings from Maryland. I attended the Congressional Black Caucus event this year, and that's where I was introduced with Nabwic. So when I start receiving all the wonderful emails and seeing all the wonderful things that you guys were doing, although I'm not in the construction field, I am interested in definitely in taking my stewardship to the next level. And so, yeah, I decided to join you guys today. So I'm looking forward to the curriculum.
All right. Thank you. All right. Anybody else before we get started? I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning.
Hi, good morning. My name is Katanya Gilliam. This is my first time here. I'm out of New York. I'm not in construction. I'm actually a caterer. And I was introduced by your daughter, Ione. So this is my first, and I'm very grateful to be on the call and to learn. Have a good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to ask Doretha if you would not mind putting the Better Investing website in the chat because part of the education is sharing the information about who we are and what we do, but also sharing that there's a free 90-day membership option as a part of the organization. And part of my education is going to be to go through the website and I was going to see, depending upon how many brand new people were here, I chose two different areas to share. But Sharon, Doretha, Carolyn, I don't know if you want to go first since you're driving. She might be on mute. Carolyn, do you want to go first since you're driving?
No, because I'm in traffic, so I have
Oh,
because I
okay.
have
Well,
to
I didn't know if
actually
you,
read. Yeah.
okay, well, just let us know, raise your,
Right.
come
We
off,
will.
right when you're
Okay.
ready. Just want to give you
Okay.
the
Thanks.
opportunity since you're mobile. All right,
Yes.
so Doretha or Sharon, either one of you want to go ahead and go first, please?
Okay, I can go first. Good morning again, everyone.
Doretha, can you
Uh,
go ahead and share? Go ahead and share.
yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but share screen, I'm saying. Just go ahead and click the green button and share your screen.
Okay, listen, and I'm reading from a magazine, so I my article is in a hard copy. I'm reading from the Better Investing magazine.
Oh, okay,
If you
no
can hear,
problem.
if
No
you can
problem.
see that,
Thank
I'm
you.
reading from the June, July of this year, the magazine, July 2025. And I found a very interesting article in the magazine, something that I'm interested in right now, buying stocks internationally. Um, our club does not have a lot of stock where we purchase internationally, but my Houston Model Club, which I'm a part of, has several stocks, and we've purchased them internationally. So I said I want to get a little bit more education on making the choices of purchasing stock, outside of the United States. And the article says escaping stock market double hell. Found that very interesting. And I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what the article talked about, definitely focusing on the things that we look around, what's happening globally. Like we have at one, when this article was published, China uh, was trying to take over, was invading Taiwan, and all of the wars over in the Middle East. So the author says that her company always look at what's going on in the world as they make their decisions to buy stock internationally. Um, an example she gave was buying stock in the defense area, um, buying machinery and guns and the different components to make up to make a gun or to tanks and all of that. That was one thing that they always look at before they make a purchase. And this company does make have a list of clients. Those clients are asking them, well, why aren't we buying international stocks? So that's one of the things that they always look at is what's going on in the world. Um, Also, when you buy internationally, you're competing with the United States, the market in the United States. So, wanting to look at um, how well does this company profit uh, as opposed to those companies in the United States. So that's a second thing that they look at, and then in the end. Are they performing? Are they performing really well? A high quality growing stock. And so that was an overview of what this particular article was about. It gave me a lot of information, but not as much as I needed. So I'll still be reading um, in that area of how to buy stocks internationally. Thanks, Ian, for allowing me to share that.
All right, thank you, Doretha. I think I'll go ahead because we have a large number of individuals here for the first time. I'm going to ask everybody, if you're here for the very first time, Doretha put in the chat a link. And I'd like to ask each of you, regardless of the device you're on, just click that link. If you would be so kind to click that link. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share I'm going to share some information from Better Investing. So let's see here. If you could click the link and just want to make sure everybody can see my screen, right? Doretha, can you see my screen? Better Investing website orientation?
Yes.
Okay. All right, perfect. So what I elected to do was to share go back to the beginning. So those of you that's interested, especially if you're a first timer, if you would just follow this, it's a very short video, but it would give you an introduction to the organization that we are members of that teaches us. These are thousands of individuals who are volunteers all over the United States, and they teach us how to analyze stocks and how to invest. All right, so just want you to click it so you can follow it. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome to the new betterinvesting.org. My name is Eric, and I'm going to guide you through our member website. The best place to get started is our Getting Started tabs in each of our top navigation areas. Getting started with your membership, getting started with the Learning Center, getting started finding great stocks, getting started with online tools, getting started with investment clubs, and getting started with our community. First, though, I want to show you our member homepage. We've moved the green box that was located on the upper right-hand corner of the old site to be a gray box now for our stock selection tools. However, none of our tools are changing, and all of the functionality of this is remaining the same. You can enter in a ticker ID to launch your SSG, or you can access your studies. If you're not currently using tools, you can access a free trial right here. Then we can continue our tour with our most active stock list. You can see the top 10 companies that our members are currently investing in. Or if you're looking for great stock ideas, you can find our First Cut stock reports, attend an upcoming event, get information about your chapter, download the latest Better Investing magazine or view past issues, get insightful information, and then I want to showcase our footer. We have mirrored everything that is on our top navigation down on our footer, so if you get lost, this is an easy place to come and reference. We've also moved your My Account and My Downloads right here to the footer. As well, you can see we have some help options with our Help Center and our FAQs. We have an online chat or email box, or you can always provide feedback on the website using our feedback tool. Let me show you My Account. In My Account, you can change your website password, you can manage your magazine passwords, all of your email and subscription information, change your credit card information, or access, again, your downloads. But let's continue the tour here. If you're new to us, I highly recommend starting in the Getting Started with Your membership. That's going to talk about our investment classes, our tools, the Better Investing magazine, First Cut stock reports, give you investment club information. And it is also where you will access our member programs and special discounts. So make sure to come and look here. Then we move over to the Learning Center, and I want to highlight the Better Investing magazine. This is where you can find information about our mobile device app. You can get our reports and other resources to help you study stocks. And then this is where you can access our magazine archives, where you can sort by title, you can sort by date, or you can search, or you can view your magazine right here. We also have our new video learning library. The video learning library hosts over 100 archive videos. You can find all of your favorites, such as the Intro to the SSG, Adding Judgment, Buy the Best, special programs, as well as see regularly scheduled programs, such as our Stock Up and Ticker Talk, and then browse by topics. The other area you can go is See All Videos, and that is going to launch into a filter where you can filter by title, date, or series. Continuing through, you could get your events, find out about the upcoming stock ups or ticker talks right in this area. Now let's go to Find Great Stocks. This is a new area of our website, and it's really your easy to navigate, one place to go area on this site to find great stock ideas. You can use the online tools with our custom stock screening. This walks you through that. Helps you with stock ideas such as our top 100, the Better Investing most active stocks, My Stock Prospector, stock screens, and then our First Cut stock reports. On the First Cut stock reports, you're going to be able to come through. You can search, you can filter by a company name, ticker, sector, size, how many studies there, the latest study. So I'm going to go through the latest study, which is paychecks, and then we'll view our latest study. You can come to the company homepage, see the company research page, or launch an SSG right from this page. Speaking about our stock selection guide, we do have our online tool section, which is going to be an in-depth look on how these tools can help you find and analyze great stocks. In our investment club area, if you're part of a club, welcome. We do have the investment club accounting area where you can learn about accounting and club operations. Or if you're interested in visiting a club, you can say visit a club near you. Find our Visit a Club program and our model stock investment clubs. That leads us into our community where you can learn about our chapters. You can visit your chapter, which will take you over to the chapter listing page. There we are. You can learn about how to volunteer or see our corporate partners. Well, I want to thank you all for coming, and I invite you to learn in our Learning Center or watch some of our other orientation videos. Welcome to the new betterinvesting.org. Have a great day.
All right.
Well, they both use that stock analysis tool I just told you about, the one that has stood the test of time. So let's check it out. Let's see what the results are.
No, not
So
today. Sorry about that. Okay. That's next month. All right. All right, so I'm going to come to you next, Sharon Jackson, please.
All right, very good. So we talked about the site. So I would like to go back to the site. So many times we have listened to new persons that says one of the ways that they have found stock is by, just reading articles, by talking to other people to find out what they're investing in. But we've already gone through the video that Ann showed that showed that there is a great learning center, but it's also a way to find stock ideas. And we've talked about this before. A lot of times what we do is go to the left side and you identify what growth you're looking for, the size and the sector. But one of the things that I had not been looking at or making sure that I took advantage of with the predefined screens. And one of the things that you may want to do as new club members is go to the predefined screens. This already tells you, if you look at the question mark over here, it tells you what the qualifiers are. What's the criteria for a quality stock? What's the criteria that they're using for value? Whether it's got a dividend yield. And this is the one that I really wanted to make sure that we looked at, because there's always an issue for just about every club that I have visited, small companies. So this is a filter that shows good.
Sharon, please excuse me 1 second. Someone let someone in that's a Zoom user with no name. Zoom user, if you would please turn on your camera, or whoever let that person is, please remove them. We're giving them a minute to put a name on themselves, or we will remove you, because we're not going to have any drama today. So please remove that person with a Zoom user, no name, no microphone. Okay, remove. Thank you. So Sharon, my apologies. You can
Okay. Very good. So one of the things that just about I'm trying to make sure that I'm going back to my exact point, is the small company.
Lori, join the meeting.
Can you hear me?
Yes, somebody just. Okay. I made people co-hosts who are members, and we just want to make sure that whoever we let in, they have their cameras turned on or a name. And so we want everybody to participate, but we just also want to protect this space. All right, thank you.
All right, so there's two things on here that I particularly want to show. I've already told you that the question marks over here show you the qualifiers and the criteria they are used. But for small companies that meet all the criteria for a good growth company, click here. When you scroll down to the bottom, in this case, it comes up with 25 candidates, all of which are in small. It shows you what their growth is, what their earnings, earnings per share, their current PE. For you to be able to look at them, you're going to click on this. It looks like two file folders, and you can it gives you a quick overview of their sales and of their earnings. You may look at this, you may not, okay? But if you choose to do it, put it in your folder. Then you just go to the next one. You click on these. So it just gives you an idea. Probably we'll go back and look at this. It's pretty much up straight and parallel. So you go through each one of these and you decide which ones you want to look at. The biggest thing is that you're still going to have to do an SSG. You're still going to have to do an analysis, even though this says 25. After you do the SSG, half of them going to come up rocks, okay? They're going to sink straight to the bottom. But that's okay. It gives you something to start with. This gives you your sector. So if you need technology stock, financial stock, and look at this, healthcare and basic materials is always an issue with just about every club. It tells you right here, it's a good, easy place to start. The other thing I want to show people are A-list stock. Companies that meet all the criteria for A-list, right? And this is the criteria right here. I'm going to click this. Now, you might think that there's nothing that's going to show. Well, this shows 25 companies. It also shows large, medium, and we have at least one or two, three small. So I'm just wanting to show when you are new, you become a member of Better Investing, you do not have to go to your aunt and uncle or cousin down the street and ask them what they think about stock tips. Better Investing is, we don't, Ann's already given our qualifier and our statement. We don't tell you what to buy. We just tell you or show you how to do the analysis so that you can do better investing. And this just gives you a better way to do, an easier way to do it, or at least to get started. Remember, and this is going to be my last point. I'm just reiterating a point that I made before. This gives you a good baseline, okay? You're still going to have to do an SSG. It just means that it gives you a foot up. So that concludes. Oh, wait a minute. Let me tell you how to find it. So when you're on your Better Investing site, right? This is a stock comparison guide. But if you hit that thing that looks like a, what is that? If you hit this, it looks like a little magnifying glass. That's how you get to the stock ideas, stock selection guide. There's a stock selection guide and there's also a stock comparison guide. I'm not prepared to do this today because I'm already used up all my time. But you find 2 or 3 stocks that are all small or all medium in the same sector. But how do you determine which is the best one? This is your stock comparison guide. So you pull up the ticker and it gives all their statistics here. Next ticker, all their statistics here, here. And then you compare them. All right, we'll do that another day. I'm just telling you, they are giving you everything that you need to study and to give you a good baseline. Does not stop you. It does not prevent you or tell you you do not have to do an SSG. This is like my third time saying it. I could say it 4 or 5 times. You're going to have to do an SSG. You're going to have to do all your analysis. This just gives you a boost. Okay, that completes my my presentation. I'm going to stop sharing.
Thank you so very much, Sharon. I just want to share with all of you this joining us today. You heard Sharon give an awesome introduction into the tools. Now, I don't know about any of you, but if you are like me, when I was first introduced to someone who said they was going to help us invest, I gave them my life's earnings, my little savings, never to see the person or the money. I saw the person, I never saw the money again. I'm sharing that because many of you are at different levels on this investing journey. I did not know anything about investing, let alone how to analyze a stock. And so I was in a mastermind group. Our mastermind group decided to read the book, The Millionaire Next Door. That book introduced us to this idea of investment clubs. And it introduced us to the organization now called Better Investing. And that is when, from myself and many of us, we began to learn what you hear Sharon sharing. And I want to say that because if you're sitting there thinking, I have no idea what that lady's talking about, but this is not for me. I just want to encourage you to keep coming. We put in the chat the 90-day membership. It is free. And there's a lot of basic information, but there's also a lot of advanced information. So everything you heard Sharon shares, talk to her offline about where she was when she first came to the organization, okay? So I just want to encourage everybody to just know that this is a journey. We've been on this journey here for 7 years. Now,
Wait a minute, Anne,
yes.
excuse please. I need for you to tell one more story. Anne brought to the club a gentleman, I think he was a police officer out of Miami.
Yes.
Used better investing principles to do what? Do you remember who I'm talking about?
Of course, I remember who you were talking about. Real quick, because I do want to get to the other members. But real quick, what Sharon is talking about is that when I got involved with this organization, the volunteers in South Florida, the chapter, they came to my church to help us learn how to analyze stocks. This was back in the day where it was pen and pencil. Now you can do everything that Sharon shared without picking up a pencil or a pen. Anyway, so I volunteered at my church to do an investment class every single Tuesday. And I got a little discouraged because I didn't see people really coming and wanting to learn. Well, let me fast forward about 10 years later. I left the church, was still volunteering. I'm going to another church. And I went to one of our chapter meetings. And one of the members from the church, Sharon is talking about, his name was Mr. Sharp. He was a retired policeman by now. And he was at the same chapter meeting. He ran up, he picked me up, literally turned me around, and everybody else in the room does not look like me. Let me say that. He did look like me. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. He sets me down, and then I say that, I call his name and I say, what are you doing here? He said, I just want to let you know that over 10 years ago, when you came to the church and you were sharing, I know you thought nobody was listening. And every time I share the story, I almost get emotional. He said, I know you think nobody was listening, but not only was I listening, but I joined a club in North Palm Beach, and I live in Miami, and I would drive to that club meeting every single month. And I tried to get my fellow police officers to join this Better Investing organization to learn how to invest in stocks, and they wouldn't. And I want you to know that the day I retired, a friend of mine who also retired with me, we were talking and come to find out the difference in our personal retirement portfolio was $1 million. $1 million, all because I listened to what you said, joined a club, and began to learn how to invest, how to analyze stocks, and now he teaches it all over the world. So thank you so much for that sharing that point. But I want to go to the next member. I also want to encourage each of you to know we're not recommending any stocks, we're not doing any of that. We're purely volunteers as a part of this club for educational purposes only. And we're sharing this information on YouTube Live to others. And if you're interested in the National Association of Black Women in Construction, if somebody can put that website in the chat on YouTube. We also want to encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel for Nabwic and also Ann McNeil YouTube, which we share this. But go to nabwic.org for the association, but you can go to betterinvesting.org for the investment education. So who would like to go next? Doretha went, I went, Sharon went, Valencia, Nicole, Mia,
can
who would
go.
like to go next, please?
Miss Ann, I can go.
Oh,
I'll be
okay,
short
go.
and brief. Still in traffic, but I'll be short and brief. Good morning, everyone. This is an article at August 2025, and it speaks about using the stop order during volatile market. And most investors understand that stock involve risk, but this is an the stop order is a managing risk management market tool, because what you can do when you have to buy and sell a stock, you can put a limit. So for example, you want to buy a stock and you said, well, the most I would pay for it is $50. So you say $50. And because since the stock, the price might go up and down, or however it might go, as I say, it wasn't down. When it reached that price, then it will be executed. So you don't have to look or to go online to check to see when this what prices is stock, but you put in that order, stop order, and you do the same for when you're selling a stock also. So in that way, you know when it reached the price that you set, it will be executed. Then you will get the So I just wanted to share that information with you because it have different ways of making sure you get, preserve your gain when you're selling a stock. And that's it for me. Thank you, everyone. Going back
All
on
right.
mute.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Who'd like to go next, please, before we start wrapping up? Okay, all right then. So,
Well, this
I
is
will go next. Oh,
Can I say something?
yes.
I'm sorry. My name is Patricia Dixon. It shows here that my name is Pat. I'm not a member. I just got an invite to your investment club, and I'm very happy to be here. The last speaker just now, she made mention of limit orders. I just want to add a slight correction. When you place a limit order, say you're selling a stock and you have a limit price at which you will sell it, it would not necessarily be sold at the price that you set the limit. It will be sold at the price below, but the most you will sell it at. I'm sorry, that's backwards. When you're buying a stock and you have a limit, say you set the limit of $50. It can be executed anywhere below the $50. It will not be executed above 50. And
Correct.
the reverse works when you are selling. Say you're selling it at 50, the lease it will be sold at is 50, but it can go above the 50.
Correct. Thank you
Okay.
so much for
Okay.
that, Ms.
All right.
Dixon. We really appreciate that. And also, please plan to continue to join us. Check the link in the chat. And Doretha, if you can put the link in the chat again here in Zoom, but also on YouTube, because some people came after we started and they won't see the links that we shared because they came afterwards. All right. I think I heard Nicole want to go next, or was that Valencia? I saw Valencia. Nicole's not
did Nicole want to
responding.
go first? Well, I could go.
Nicole, are you there, Nicole?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm here. Actually, I don't have anything to share. This last couple of weeks, I've just been working with my kids to kind of go through their Roth IRAs and get them up to speed with understanding their positions for different stocks and, teaching them. So I haven't really delved into any particular trainings. So,
Nicole, I think you just shared. Okay, I think
oh,
you just shared some very powerful information for every single person who's on here. Can you share with them the age of your children, please?
yes, my son's 11 and my daughter just turned 16. So
And how,
she officially has two jobs now. She works for me. We got her on staff, and then she's working as a field investigator for the FDA. So, yes, she needs to understand that she's not going to be in my pockets anymore. So,
Okay, I just want to have you share that because for many of us, when we are learning about investing, we don't think about our children. And for many of you that know me and someone who's here, a guest here is a friend of my daughter, Ione, she started learning how to save at second and third grade, started learning how to invest fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth grade. And by the time she was a senior in high school, she ranked number one in the United States out of 5,000 girls in a contest called Girls Going Places for her business, uh, called the Baby Billionaire. And I say that because every single class I attended, every single investment conference I attended for 20 years, she attended. And so this is a family affair. And that is one of the reasons why we're sharing it here as a part of the National Association of Black Women in Construction, because it is the investing. I read a quote from Martin Luther King, heard a quote by Martin Luther King in a speech he gave on yesterday. And he said, um, learn, baby, learn, so you can earn, baby, earn. And I think that it's a really good motto for us because he was talking to children. He was talking to children, elementary and junior high school children, about the responsibility for them to have a blueprint for their lives. And I think that Nicole, what you're sharing about your investment education in the last few weeks in terms of investing with your children so that they will have a portfolio, I think is one of the best legacies we can leave next to our salvation. So I just wanted to share that before Valencia shares. And also, Nicole, if you would check your text on your phone, because I'd like, as we wrap up at the end, for you to share about how individuals can become a member of the club. Thank
okay.
you. Valencia, you want to go ahead and share?
Yes, I'm Valencia. I've been Valencia Warren Gibbs. I've been investing with Better Investing for the last 5 years. I belong to the South Florida Model Investment Club, and I can tell you that this has been one of the best experiences that I've ever had. Talk about Roth IRAs. I got all my grandchildren. They all have their own Roth IRAs that I fund currently. However, they're not old enough to really understand, but they know what I do. And they don't quite understand the value of their funds, but they will over time. So we do get a chance to talk about it. And as what Patricia was saying earlier about, I actually just had to get rid of a couple of stocks that just weren't performing the way that I anticipated them to perform. And I ended up actually calling out the price that I wanted, which was higher. And ultimately it sold at the higher price, but I waited it out because you can put it indefinitely. And that's just what I wouldn't take. I wasn't going to take it for a loss where it was currently at. So I waited it and it actually rebounded and I was able to make some money on the other side. And as I got rid of the stock, but it was still fluctuating between a second. But these are the principles that I've learned. I was actually prepared to do a presentation today, but I know in terms of time that I won't be able to do it, but it's about Take Stock. And if you all haven't had an opportunity, please grab the book, Take Stock by Ellis Trout. And I couldn't ever done anything more better for my family and myself and the legacy of my family than get involved with Nabwic because I'm a Nabwic member as well, but get involved with better investing and getting involved and getting to really understand how wealth is created.
Excuse me, Valencia.
Yes.
You have a presentation you want to give. For those who have to leave, it's okay. This is streaming live on YouTube. They can go back and listen. But I really do want to respect and honor the time and preparation you've had. And so if you want to go ahead and share, please do so.
Yes, thank you.
Now, for those of you that's listening to Valencia, please click the link in the chat. Doretha's put the link in the chat again for getting more information about better investing. For one, can you share the name of the book and the author? Okay, great. Thank you, Shelby. She's going to do that. And thank you for that question. So Valencia, if you can share in the chat and we can help support you as you share by going and getting the information. We're going to put a lot of information in the chat. We're going to ask all of you, please make sure you can save the chat, okay? And let us know when you're ready to present it. And Doretha, if you can help us put the same information on YouTube also, Doretha, please. Thank you.
All righty. I am ready, and let's go. Okay. Well, the book is called Take Stock, A Roadmap to Profiting Your Walk Down Wall Street. And again, this is the third edition. The author is Ellis Trout. And it's the contents of the book, when you get an opportunity to get it, is 13 chapters, and it's why take stock. I'm going to give you a brief overview of each of them and the fundamentals, what each chapter actually prepares you for. But what's beautiful about this book is it works in conjunction with Better Investing. It has all of the principles that we look for, and not just that, but it takes the angst or the anxiety out of not knowing what to pick, and it removes all of that, but gives you a foundation of how to choose the stock. And why this book? This book, if many investor books talk about why to invest, this focuses on how systematic, actionable steps. It targets beginning investors who want to pick individual stocks rather than just index stocks. The audience and scope is designed to help normal people with no special finance background, which is what Ellis Traub started off with out of failures. But he found a way to actually be able to be useful, and with more experience, he was able to, experienced investors as a refresher of these are let me put it this way. Okay, but also useful for more experienced investors as a refresher of a disciplined methods. The key premises of investment philosophy: long-term. Stocks represent ownership in companies. Long-term growth and earning drives value. The aim is to find quality growth stocks at reasonable prices. That's key. B, conservative, systematic, and disciplined. Minimize turnover, less frequent trading to reduce costs and taxes. And use both fundamentals and graphic visual aids. Traub uses the technomental approach. So to give us more insight in what technomental approach is, but first, before we get started, let me give you the financial terminology. These are the key matrix of how we evaluate and we discuss the value of a company. Earnings per share, price to earnings ratio, PE, the PEG ratio, which is the PE divided by growth rate. All these things will be learned as you begin to read the book and get more involved with Better Investing. Again, the video library is abundant with information. The growth rate, profit margins, which is return on equity, and stability, predictability of earnings, and again, technomental visuals, charts. This is technomental explained, and this is where the premise and the value, this is where Better Investing, this is the tool that they give us, and all of the information they give us to be able to do the technomental, which is technical plus fundamental. Troll believes that successful investors must understand both a company's business fundamentals, their earnings, their growth, their profitability, and its price behavior, how the stock performs over time. His method visualizes fundamental data like earnings growth on a stock chart, transforming raw numbers into easy-to-read patterns. 2, the fundamental foundation. Traub's foundation is fundamental analysis. The emphasis is earnings growth, the key driver of long-term stock value. Financial strength, margins, debt, cash flow, and return on equity, that ROE again. Consistency, companies with smooth, predictable growth are preferred. He encourages investors to project future earnings and prices to estimate whether a stock is over or fairly valued. The next term is technical overlay, where the fundamentalists stop at ratios and tables. Troub adds a visual layer. He charts historical earnings and stock price on the same chart. This allows investors to see the relationship between growth and evaluation rather than relying on abstract ratios. The slope of the lines shows growth rate deviations between the earnings per share line and the price line reveal potential mispricings. It was mentioned, Ms. Jackson mentioned it earlier. It is where you can actually go and you can see you can see all of this in real time. The purpose of the purpose of the visualization by turning fundamentals into visual form. And this is all the things that veteran investing offers. Everything that I'm mentioning now. Investors consistently recognize trends, and that's what you're looking for. Steady versus erratic growth. It helps to anchor expectations for a reasonable future performance. And when the price line rises from above the earnings trade line, it signals over-evaluation. When it falls below, it's under-evaluation. Decision-making with techno-mental tools. Troll method guides buy/sell decisions based on, and I think you've heard us talk about the buy-sell techniques and what we need to determine a buy and sell. But the tool, the SSG, is the one that helps you can see where you are within that line. It provides a graph. So the fundamental reality, the company's financial quality and growth prospects, technical behavior, whether the price aligns with or diverges from that reality, value discipline using both price and earning trend lines to find a fair entry point, which is critical because you don't want to buy too high, but you also are looking for where it could go lower. And sometimes it is about putting in the a stop order or where you want the price, where you're willing to pay for the price, pay for the stock. Better Investing provides worksheets and software tools to automate this graphical analysis, especially bringing disciplines to what is used other than your intuition. Why it's effective. It gives beginning investors a visual roadmap to investing fundamentals. It reduces emotional bias, helping investors to be based on trend consistency rather than type. It balances long-term investing principles, which Troll talks about Benjamin Graham and Peter Lynch. He goes more into depth in the book with modern chart-based insight, which is what the SSG provides. It helps investors see value and growth together, bridging the gap between technical traders and fundamental investors. So the prospecting and screening stocks, this is what we also do as a group, and you can do it individually. I use it individually and with my model club. How to find candidates. You start with trying how to find candidates, which are finding the type of stocks which are graded. And there are other tools like Morningstar and Value Line, which go into depth of the grading system and why they are, and also talks about the management, which is one of the fundamental parts, is really understanding how are the leaders of the organization guiding the company to stay profitable. Use the filters, the screen to narrow the universe, which is the tools that Ms. Jackson showed earlier, and emphasize consistency, which is earnings in the grow steadily, not erratically. Avoid hype or speculation, names that don't check off the solid fundamentals. Solid fundamentals. Evaluating quality of a stock. Assess management track record, again, talking about the management, which is you can get information through Value Line, and track record, integrity, and consistency. With the financial strength, low debt, healthy balance sheet, that ROE is where you can find it, and which is also the profitability where you're able to go and evaluate as well from the balance sheet. Cash reserves. The margins, which is your ROE again. Efficiency. What are they doing for how are they better earning off of their equity, which helps us. Competitive advantages, moats, barriers to entry the market. I call it the market position, which is when you begin to purchase a stock, you'll have a position in the company and you'll know how well you're performing based upon when you got in and where the company is or where the stock is performing at any given time. And the earnings consistency over time. The valuation and pricing. It is what is a reasonable price, the fudge factors and judgment for scenario modeling, incorporating risk and variability and margin safety, using PEG to adjust your growth, and using PE multiples, historic and sector benchmarks. Again, Better Investing helps you with all of this. Comparing candidate stocks, when multiple stocks pass screenings, how to choose. Again, she was saying, Ms. Jackson mentioned small, medium, large, and then how you're going to diversify the portfolio, which is coming up. The weighting importance like growth, margin, stability, valuation, diversification, how many stocks to hold, avoiding concentration risk. Better Investing offer online classes, videos, courses suggesting ways and seminars to set up a diversified portfolio between industries and company size. Portfolio construction, again, another way. There's videos on what should be in your portfolio in terms of small, medium, large, the industries, whether it's tech, it is healthcare, etc. But it breaks it out so you can better put your portfolio together. And portfolio management and monitoring. This is where the clubs like this help you put things in perspective. So you have a discussion. You all are just talking about how you want to develop your portfolio. Is it going according to the Better Investing fundamentals? And you monitor the existing holdings, which we do a analysis of what stocks that we want. We put on a watch list, and we also go back over our portfolio of what we already purchased to see what position we are and whether or not we're still in a good position, or do we want to sell. Rules for selling when fundamentals deteriorate, and that does happen. Rebalancing if necessary, so that is selling, and then also looking at other ways of how you're going to reinvest your stocks, or where are you going to put the money, because again, consistency is not with the company, but it's also with us. It's always be buying. Minimizing turnover to reduce transaction costs and taxes. But the finer points and caveats is in adjustments. Adjustments for inflation, cyclicality, one-time events. And what that is determining, sometimes they go through a cycle. It might be the type of company it is, when they expect earnings to be down, when they can recover on earnings. Just like some companies in retail really recover, which quote unquote used to be after Black Friday, which they would go on the black and really account for the majority of the year. And that's where they would put most of their earnings, their earning projections. But handling special cases like mergers, write-downs, cynical companies, I'm going to say that correctly. Recognize limitations of the method. Not every company fits. Tailor method to your risk tolerance. And again, when you're with a club, it helps you get past that to be able to talk about those things. But we're getting close to ending. But focus on quality, consistency, and valuation, not speculation. Always build in a margin of safety. Be patient. Aim for long-term compounding. Use structured, repeatable steps rather than ad hoc picks. Adapt the method for your own capital, time horizon, and risk tolerance. Again, with a model club like this or a club like this, you all can do it together. But it also gives you the skills to be able to do it on your own, which I've taken advantage of. But the example walkthrough: select candidates via stock screening, gather matrix, earnings per EPS, earnings per share growth, margins, return on equity, and debt. Put the T. Estimate reasonable valuation, compare candidates, your companies, that they have their competitors, and decide whether to buy or what price, and at what price, and track over time. Take stock, give a roadmap for concept to practice, empowers individual investors to analyze stocks on their own. It emphasizes on consistency, discipline, and conservatism. And encouragement: use this method, but adapt and refine it over time. And finally, This is from Ellis Tribe, LST, and it's Take Stock, and this is the 3rd edition. And that concludes my presentation. But that is the entire book of Take Stock.
All right. I have to share. Thank you so very much. That Ellis Traub was my neighbor, and that's part of how God blessed Ione and I to be a part of this organization, and did not know he was my next door neighbor. And everything you just shared, we were a part of his um, journey in writing not just the book, but also he wrote the software that was presented by Sharon as a part of the SSG, and he did it by hand in the very beginning. So just want to share that for those of you that joined us, thank you so very much. We're going to go ahead and prepare to wrap up. If anybody else has anything they'd like to share, I want to encourage you again to go to betterinvesting.org, and at the very bottom of the website, you have a free 90-day membership, and you go to betterinvesting.org to do that.
One quick,
Sharon, as president, you have any kind of closing remarks you'd like to share before we wrap up?
can I say one quick thing before we wrap up, please?
Sorry, yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is Patricia Dixon again. We may want to consider options at some point. It's a great way to sell your stock. It's a
Pat, let
great,
me
you
share
can make a
this.
lot more money that way.
Yes, Pat, let me share this. I thank you so very, very, very much, and you are absolutely right. The only difference, Pat, is that this is an investment education club. So we follow the principles and the philosophy and the process of better investing. And individuals may do that on their own, but as it relates to the club, we don't invest in options. We basically invest in stocks. But I
No, no,
thank you so very
I'm
much,
not
Pat.
saying invest in an option. I'm saying use options to sell or buy your stocks. It's a
Right.
great way to make additional money on the same stock. You're either selling or buying.
Right, and I'm agreeing with you. We can do that individually, but when it comes to investment education, unless we can analyze it thoroughly through the philosophy and the principles and the process and the platforms we have, we can take it offline, but you're absolutely
Okay,
right.
okay,
You're
all
absolutely
righty,
right. I really
all right,
appreciate your comments. Thank you
okay.
so much. All right, we're going to go ahead and prepare to wrap up. Sharon, as president, you'll have any kind of closing remarks?
No, ma'am. It's after 7 o'clock, so we need to start getting these people on their way to operating their businesses or to their jobs. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you, everybody. We're gonna have y'all have a great day, and we'll see you. Please make sure you follow us on all of the social media. Stay informed. Thank you, and have a great day, everybody. Bye.